Continuing with the amino acid absorption and metabolism, and finally it's excreted as urea. So the food which we eat contains a lot of proteins. These proteins are broken down initially in the stomach by these key enzymes called pepsin, trypsin and chymotrypsin, and then broken into many polypeptides. These polypeptides are like a combination of many amino acids combined together. These are further broken down into dipeptides and monopeptides by special enzymes called protease and peptidase present in the intestine. They are the most very vital enzymes that are responsible for the breakdown of proteins. So that's how the digestion of protein takes place. This is a diagrammatic representation of the same. So first you are going to be the protein is going to be acted upon by trypsin and pepsin in the stomach to be broken down into polypeptide chains, and then it's going to be acted upon by dipeptidases and other protease and peptidase enzymes to break them further down into amino acids, dipeptides and tripeptides, which can be easily absorbed by the body. So that's all about the absorption of amino acids. Then this is a very important cycle. It's a urea cycle. Urea is nothing but a safe way of our body excreting nitrogen. So nitrogen excretion happens in the form of urea. From an evolutionary point of view, if you see, ammonia is the most commonly excreted form of nitrogen. That is ammonia, which is NH3, is excreted out from the different organisms, but it's very toxic. Ammonia is very toxic, so our body doesn't like to deal with ammonia, and it converts this ammonia into urea, which is comparatively safer and can be excreted easily. So the urea cycle takes place in the liver. What exactly happens is, all the protein amino acids which have a NH2 group with them transfer it to glutamate, which is a good carrier of this NH2 group, and this glutamate is converted into urea in the liver cells. Okay, so that is basically the essence of urea cycle. How that takes place is, glutamate is converted to ammonia, which is immediately converted into carbamyl phosphate. Now this step can be directly bypassed by just writing from glutamate carbamyl phosphate is formed, and the enzyme responsible for this is carbamyl phosphate synthase 1. This is the rate limiting step of this cycle, which means that the speed of this step determines how fast this other steps are going to take place. This carbamyl phosphate combines with a compound called ornithine to form citrulline, and citrulline is converted into arganosuccinate, and there's a separate aspartate fumarate cycle which which uh, which also deals with this same ammonia, but it's like a branch of this main urea cycle. Arganosuccinate is converted to arginine, and finally urea is excreted out, and the leftover part is ornithine, which is reused by the urea cycle to create more urea. So that's the base of this. So from glutamate, carbamyl phosphate is formed. Carbamyl phosphate combines with ornithine to form citrulline, citrulline to arganosuccinate, arganosuccinate to arginine, and finally to urea. So it's very important that you know all the steps. That's because if there's a deficiency of any of the enzymes over here, you can just put a block and increase in the concentration of that compound. For example, if there's a block in this area, there will be increased levels of citrulline, which basically is citrulline urea, citrulline in urine, that is citrulline urea. Okay, so those are the, and there is something called argininuria, ornithinuria. All those things are just deficiencies which manifest when there's any problem in the enzymes related to any of these steps. So that's basically about urea cycle. One more important thing is vitamin B6 would be required here. It's a good thing to know, and that would be enough. So this basically is the simplified version of that. So carbamyl phosphate combines. This is formed from glutamate. So then it combines with ornithine to form citrulline. Then it moves to cytoplasm to form arginosuccinate, arginine, and finally urea. So that would be the absorption and excretion of urea. Further on, I'll be covering each of the metabolisms of different amino acids. Stay tuned. Please do like, subscribe, comment, and share these videos. Thank you.